You've been told that you need to get your money up if you want to get a woman to like you. You've been told that once you get your life together, you get your house, your car, and everything else, then women are going to start coming to you and everything's going to work out and you're going to be a happy guy. And to some extent, a very small extent, there is some truth to that. But unfortunately, that doesn't mean that you're in a safe situation now. It doesn't mean that everything's on autopilot all of a sudden. No, actually, the more money you accumulate and the richer you get, the more you're going to have to keep your eyes and ears open, the more observant you're going to have to be with women, and you're going to have to be stricter with your selection process. You see, if you are a guy who wasn't really getting female attention before you got money and riches, then you need to understand that the only reason these women are around you now is because of your money and riches. A lot of guys lose themselves. They get lost in the sauce and really believe that all of a sudden they are a handsome, charismatic guy and that they are on the same level as all of these Instagram models on Instagram Explore page. And that's just not the truth. You really need to rub your eyes and get a clear vision of what is going on. If you are a guy that wasn't attracting women before money, you're still the same guy even though you have money now. It's just that you have something that they want: your money, your resources. And that is just a harsh reality that a lot of you high value men need to accept. We have seen countless examples of men who are high value and their women leave them, them women cheat on them, and their women treat them like garbage. And you would think a man in that position would never have a woman treat them raw. But the truth is, these women don't naturally want you. They're not naturally attracted to you. I always think about the natural sexual attraction a woman will have for a man. Does she actually fancy him before she realizes what he does for a living or what his status is? Is there a natural connection and chemistry that comes from the woman towards that man? There's that natural selection going on. Then it really won't matter how much money the man makes initially, because she's going to be open to giving that man a chance. She's going to be open to opening up to that man in the first place. We hear about these Chads and Tyrones who are broke, but they're tall and they're attractive and they seem to get girls. And in fact, a lot of times women will be paying for them. They'll be paying for their food. They'll be giving those men a place to stay and driving them around. Some of you guys are Chads and Tyrones and I've lived that life. I know I've lived that experience many times with many different women. And so you need to always take this on board that there's some guys out there who do not need to be multi-millionaires. They don't need to be making 200,000 a year. They don't need to take a woman on vacation on the first date. No. Sometimes all it takes is you talk to a woman every day for a week and then tell her to come to your house and they will come because they're actually sexually naturally attracted to you. All you guys that are spending £300 on your first date and doing the most, you're buying all this drip and alcohol and all this food, extravagant dates and stuff like that, you're really an idiot in my opinion. Because if you got to do all of that stuff just to get the woman's attention, just to have her in your presence, she doesn't like you. She doesn't like you. I want you to understand, whenever they talk about they want a guy that makes 100,000 a year and he has to be working at this kind of job, etc., etc., they are talking about the guys that they don't naturally like. They don't like those guys. It's a trick. All right. And then once they get into a relationship or a marriage with those guys, they will be there, maybe have 1 kid, 2 kids, and then they will divorce the guy. It happens every day. What do we know? We know that most marriages and relationships are ended by women. Why? Because the women are with guys that they don't actually like. They're with guys who are a safe option. They're with a guy who's just boyfriend material, he's husband material, but he's not actually the guy that they're attracted to. You need to be very, very careful. I would say this, that every man, when you're dating a woman, you shouldn't even let them know how much money you got. You shouldn't be trying to flex too often. You shouldn't be trying to give this appearance that you're some high-flying, jet-setting rock star. The best bet is just to show them normal. If they are happy with you and they still are willing to spend time with you, even though you're not flashing cash, then that is somebody that actually fancies you and likes you. There's actual sexual attraction towards you. If you have to wear all the latest designer clothes and take them to the most expensive restaurant and buy expensive presents for them, they don't like you. And at the first opportunity, when there's another guy that she actually likes comes around, she's gonna sleep with that other guy. Or if there's another guy that is willing to spend more money than you, she's going to go and see that other guy, and she don't like him either. This is the truth. Especially the more attractive a woman is. Now, if you're dealing with women that are more on the average side and below, then they're going to be, less of an air of entitlement towards a man's money and wealth, resources, etc. But the more attractive the woman is, the more she's going to demand. At the end of the day, if you feel like you need to fork out a lot of money just to have this woman's attention or just to have this woman around you to see you, she doesn't like you. That's the bottom line. See these women on TikTok and Instagram reels talking about how much a man needs to be making and etc, etc. Those women are talking about men that they don't like. They're not naturally sexually attracted to those guys. So the only way she will deal with the guy is if he's gonna spend money. It's a very, very simple equation that anyone can follow. The irony of all of this is that all these women who are demanding to get with rich men usually end up single. In situations with these rich men, what you will find is either two things happen. It will be either the guy with money is a simp and he will probably be starstruck by an attractive woman, and then he will be used by that woman, and then that will pretty much be the end of that story. The other side of it is that the guy has money, but he is very switched on and he's very selective of who he will bring into his life, and also he will be very quick to substitute a woman out if she is not meeting his standards. Or he might be a guy with money who's switched on and he just wants to play the field. He is an eternal bachelor and he may be selling dreams, showing them a lifestyle. You may be able to get this if you stick with me long enough and you do as I need you to. But really and truly, this guy has no desire to settle down anytime soon because he's at a position where he doesn't need to. And he may be aware that if it wasn't for his money, these women wouldn't be interested in the first place. So this guy is playing the game and playing to win. And my advice is, whether you are a man who is building your wealth, a man who is wealthy currently, or any other situation, you need to be switched on. You need to understand the landscape. You need to understand who you are. You need to understand what you can attract and what you can't attract, so that if you do get to a level of high success, you won't be used and made to look like a fool. Again, I will say this, just because you have money doesn't mean you're going to be in a safe situation in dating and relationships. It's just not true. If you are a guy who doesn't have money, I suggest that you focus on money and not dating and women. Anyway, it's King Riches, man. Close to 100,000 subscribers. Please, 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 all of you like the video. I'm going to be posting these early videos just like this. It's literally 12 midday. I'm going to be doing these videos every day now. So more content on the way. Please support the channel. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. If you agree or disagree or you got anything to add. Back soon with more content. Peace.